I mean, with her original jam rollout, it was one of 50 that she was giving to her friends. I think it is going to be this exclusive type of range, and I'm sure they've kept the numbers small just to make sure that they don't.
Oh, honey, Meghan Markle did not come to play, and it shows. Grab your overpriced herbal tea and settle in, because today we're taking a deep dive into what might be the most chaotic, confusing, and gloriously tone-deaf brand launch of the year. Yes, the Duchess of Drama has re-entered the spotlight with a lifestyle line so scandalously messy, even the Queen's corgis are judging. This isn't just jam. It's a case study in celebrity delusion, branding gone bad, and what happens when royal fairy tales meet retail flops. Let's break it down, shall we?
I don't know what world she thinks she's living in right now if she hasn't stepped foot outside the sort of gates of Montecito to understand that I don't know if your average American is going to be dishing out $14 for a pot of jam, or it's not really jam.
So Meghan Markle was supposed to roll out this perfectly posh, pastel-drenched brand called America's Riviera Orchard. Think lavender fields, jam jars, and I'm not like other duchesses vibes. But plot twist? She ghosted her own brand name. Now it's called As Ever, which sounds like a closing line in a high school yearbook, not a bougie lifestyle company. What does As Ever even mean? And listen to this. The product rollout? A hot mess. She dropped a few jars of jam, literally jam, and crepe mix. But here's the scandal. There were barely any products available. Some say it was a fake sellout. Others whisper there was no inventory to begin with. Either way, she created a wait list for jam. Yes, darling, a wait list for freaking jam. I don't know who's advising her, but this reeks of trust fund marketing intern energy. No employees, no infrastructure, no plan, and yet she expects the world to line up like it's the new iPhone drop.
It's not this like amazing collaboration that's going to create a dynastical fortune for them. It's just them groveling.
Now let's talk about the Netflix deal, because this is where it gets juicier than that $28 jar of raspberry spread. So Netflix now has a product department. Who knew? And apparently, Meghan was slotted in to be the face of a little side hustle. But she didn't build a team, she didn't hire anyone until after the headline broke. And reportedly, she had zero ownership in the business. Translation? She's just slapping her name on jars and cashing checks. You can't call it a business if your biggest contribution is signing off on the font. This is all giving very, I woke up and decided to be a lifestyle mogul, with none of the grit. Meanwhile, she's out here dropping tea mixes and shortbread cookie kits like it's 2008 Pinterest core. I mean, did Gwyneth Paltrow teach her nothing?
I think that she was definitely they're trying to get some of that 100 million that they've plowed into this disaster back.
Now here's where the plot really thickens. Word on the very chic street is that Meghan was deep in talks to collab with Flamingo Estate. Think Aesop's richer, cooler, avocado oil-drizzled cousin. It was supposed to be the move. Meghan plus Flamingo Estate equals match made in minimalist luxury heaven. But just when it was getting serious, she pulled out and then launched her own suspiciously similar brand, complete with eerily familiar fonts, a near-identical aesthetic, and a name so vague it could double as a forgotten perfume ad. Girl, did you really just clone their vibe and slap on your own jam label? I'm not saying it's a ripoff, but if it looks like a jam jar and smells like a jam jar. Meanwhile, let's not forget her other venture turned flop, the podcast, canceled, canned, cut like a background character from Suits. And now she wants to be a jam queen? Where is the vision? Where is the story? Where is the bee farm in Montecito? The real issue here is branding whiplash. Is she a rebel duchess, a disruptor, or the royal Martha Stewart? Because right now, she's trying to be all of the above and ends up being none of the above. If she just embraced the chaos and sold us tea of regret, a soothing herbal blend for when your podcast bombs, I'd say take my money. But instead, we're stuck with jam and confusion. masterclass in PR failure, unfulfilled potential, and narcissistic branding gone wild. Let's be honest. At first, we wanted to believe. They had charm, trauma, and a platform. But today, that platform is cracking under the weight of contradictions. The privacy advocates who partnered with Spotify and Netflix to overshare every text and tier. The public servants who swapped duty for designer jam and curated Instagram filters.
Good. It would have been more effective had she not given that awful Oprah Winfrey interview some years ago, in which she was so incredibly vindictive. So, which is the real Meghan Markle?
The downfall started with the Netflix docuseries, their big debut. But instead of an inspiring chronicle of growth, it played like a 6-episode therapy session set to soft piano music. Harry and Meghan were the stars, the victims, and the narrators, accusing the monarchy, the press, and their own families of cruelty, racism, and neglect.
Now, she's very successful at getting people to take an interest in every single thing she does, but there do seem to be an awful lot of them, and nothing ever seems to follow through.
But viewers weren't buying it. Fact-checkers had a field day. Inconsistencies piled up. Sympathy soured into skepticism. Meanwhile, back in Britain, Prince William and Princess Kate were working, quietly, consistently, dutifully. And that contrast? Devastating. After the docuseries came flop after flop. Live to Lead, a Mandela-inspired documentary, ignored. Heart of Invictus, noble but barely noticed. A glossy polo documentary, tone-deaf rich people cosplay. And now, Meghan's lifestyle brand, as ever. Homemade jam, floral fonts, a rosé no one asked for. She called it relatable. Critics called it artificial. And let's not forget the photo ops. Wildfire zones, mass shooting memorials, staged like Vogue spreads. Even celebrities rolled their eyes. Worse, behind-the-scenes chaos. Staff quitting, Spotify walking, Netflix not renewing. Her show With Love Meghan, pitched as cozy and healing, turned out dull, overproduced, and empty. An influencer aesthetic with no soul behind the soft lighting.
She is using them as part of her marketing campaign.
And here's the kicker. They didn't just fall. They wasted what could have been. With global goodwill, millions in funding, and the media at their feet, they chose grievance over growth, ego over empathy. And now, the world has moved on. At this point, the narrative is tired, the brand is broken, and the public has tuned out. Their Netflix fairy tale has ended, not with a bang, but a whimper of jam jars and Instagram quotes. They left the palace to find purpose, but 5 years later, the only thing they've truly found is irrelevance.
He doesn't speak to Harry. No checking with Harry, because who cares what Harry thinks? He's living in Montecito, he's a traitor to the family.
Picture this. The once inseparable royal brothers, the golden boys of the monarchy, are going to be thrown together again at Peter Philip's wedding. Now, Peter's a good guy, right? He's the son of Princess Anne, and he's been keeping it classy and low-key, living his life privately, something Harry and Meghan could really learn a thing or two about. But here's the problem. This wedding is not going to be the heartwarming family reunion that we all wish it could be. Oh no, this is going to be an explosive showdown. Let's talk about Harry, once the golden child, full of charm and mischief, adored by the public. Now, he's the royal family's worst nightmare. Harry didn't just leave the monarchy, he betrayed them in the most humiliating way possible, starting with that Oprah interview where he and Meghan slandered the entire family, accusing them of racism and playing the ultimate victim. And let's not forget Meghan Markle, the woman who turned Harry against his own blood, poisoned his mind, and made him doubt everything he once stood for. It's Meghan's world, and Harry's just her puppet. Now, here they are, living in California, crying about their terrible, privileged life while the world watches, shaking its head at their hypocrisy.
She said these awkward decisions are made slightly easier by the fact that Harry lives so far away with no prospect of ever moving back to the UK. And that's not the ideal way to carry out any godparent duties.
But the kicker here is this wedding. This is the ultimate royal reunion. Harry and William are being forced into the same space at Peter Philip's wedding, and you just know it's going to be cringeworthy. There is so much tension between these two brothers now. It's like a bomb just waiting to go off. Let's be real. Harry is walking into that wedding with a chip on his shoulder, ready to throw shade and stir up drama. You know he's thinking about all the nasty things he said about his family, and probably feeling that sense of desperation. I can't let William look better than me. You can practically hear him thinking. He'll want to show up, play the part, and prove to everyone that he's still important, despite the disaster that his life has become. And don't even get me started on Meghan Markle, because, we're going there. You know she's gonna try to show up and make some kind of statement. Maybe she'll wear something too revealing. Maybe she'll smirk and act all cool like she's untouchable. She's gonna strut around acting like she's the queen of Montecito, like she's above it all. And let's be real, she's gonna act like she's the one calling the shots. She's not going to be charmed by the royal family anymore. But honestly, the fact that she's even showing up is laughable. It's clear she never wanted to fit in with the royals. She just wanted to use Harry's title, bask in the attention, and then cry, "Poor me," when the press doesn't worship her like she thought they would.
The Oprah interview was March 2021, when Harry accused the royal family of being racist. And so William, days after that wicked interview, on his way into church of all places, said he was asked by a journalist, "Are the royal family racist?"
But the real question is, does Harry even want to reconcile with William? Does he actually care about fixing this rift? Or is this just him trying to salvage whatever's left of his crumbling reputation? Harry knows he's been ostracized from the royal family. He's been cut off, shunned, and publicly humiliated. He wants to make his grand return, but let's be real, there's no coming back from this. He can show up at this wedding all he wants, but he knows, deep down, that the royal family will never see him the same way again.
I mean, he could use this wedding reunion to fire Prince Harry. That's what he could do. William could use Peter Philip's wedding, the son of Princess Anne, to fire Prince Harry. That would be powerful.
And let's talk about William. You think William is going to forget about the backstabbing, the public slander, and the nasty comments that Harry and Meghan have made about his wife, Kate? Absolutely not. He's going to be icy cold, stone-faced, and completely unwilling to let his guard down. William knows his family deserves better than this, and he knows Harry can't be trusted. I mean, Harry's attacked Kate in public. He's smeared her name with lies and accusations. How do you come back from that? You don't. Now, there's a chance, just maybe, that this wedding could be the moment when Harry gets down on his knees and finally admits how badly he messed up. But don't hold your breath, folks. Harry's ego is huge. Apologizing to William? Admitting he was wrong about Meghan? No way. He's too far gone at this point. And even if he did apologize, would it even matter? Could William forgive him for all the chaos Harry has caused? The damage Harry has done to the monarchy? I mean, we're talking about years of public humiliation, scandal, and betrayal.